Hi, how are ya? I am hopping in here quick. I literally filmed this. I'm not kidding. This is the 6th time I filmed this. I filmed an entire 15 minutes. I was just about to go edit some things out of it, and my mic was not on. So we're just going to make this short, sweet, to the point. Essentially what I did originally was I filmed in the very early morning my market analysis, how I thought things were going to play out, and then what I was posting, how I was posting it. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So what we're going to do instead is, sorry, I thought I had Thinkorswim up. Let me move that. And I posted ES, so I will just chart ES. Originally, I had charted NQ. I was showing you that I was charting NQ because I think that it's a good idea to start with NQ. It sort of leads everything else. I do trade NQ often, primarily MNQ, pretty much solely MNQ. But here is our naked chart. Every day I try to start with a naked chart. I think that it's really good to start with a naked chart on a Monday, or of course today's Tuesday, but on the beginning of the week. Sometimes I will get rid of everything on my charts during the morning. That way I'm not bringing yesterday's sort of biases into today, and so on and so forth. So starting with a naked chart, 180-day 4-hour, I'm going to start drawing my trend lines. And fibs. So start with this upwards trend line, this downwards trend line. I always like to color mine. My upwards are always green. And then we are going to zoom on in to the 1 hour. You know what? Scratch that. We're going to do fibs first. And I'm going to put a fib from here. And then I'm going to put a fib from here. No, they're not perfect, but they do the trick. I don't really perfect them because I don't like looking at them as perfect levels. I think that it just messes a little bit with my head in the sense of like it's kind of a zone, and not to get too jumpy either way, in or out. So here's my 2 sets of fibs. That way if we break below these fibs here, we know that there is some downside. So this is what I had originally posted to the group. I'm going to zoom in to this 1 hour view, and I had drawn a trend line off of this last. It was close, right? It wasn't exactly a touch, but it was pretty dang close. And I originally had also drawn a fib off of this last touch and this move down. We had previous support here at this 577.5 level. I marked that for you guys, and that's how we got these fibs. Basically, it broke below. I know these fibs are slightly different because I did make these fibs previously directly off of this price level, so that we knew what would happen if we, moved up. That being said, that's how I charted that. But I traded this pretty much exact same move on NQ, and I actually traded it on NMQ. Here is my chart, and here's how I traded it. So originally I took an entry. I realized this was not the best entry because I was not entering close enough to this micro trend, and I was not letting my risk be steep enough for that to make sense. My original entry was at 307.25. I was stopped at 329.25. Another entry at 19 to 81. The reason I entered there is because it was at a pretty much perfect break of this level here. So I was trying to enter as close as possible. Just, there was this flush here. I was hesitating a bit, but I knew that we would be a little more probable if I entered below that break. So I entered there, stayed in this whole time, and I hit close here at this candle. I'm feeling regrets for sure. I feel a lot of regret for doing that. Generally, if I was going to exit on this micro trend, I should have exited here. I mean, I absolutely should have exited on this candle. It opened straight up over this micro trend. I did not exit there. As we came all the way up here, I was like, okay, maybe I need to exit. Exited. Of course, we reversed right away. I re-entered this on this same candle. I re-entered short. I then ended up getting stopped out very close to break even. It was like 5 points here. Basically entered here, stopped here, and then my first stop, or my second stop technically, was here. Anyway, I should have never stopped myself out in the first place. I think that I have been struggling with finding a balance between holding things for a lot longer and scalping and not letting too much of my profits go. If we had a little bit more movement here, like let's say we hit this trend line again prior to this move down, then I definitely would have had my stop somewhere in here. But I have to be done for the day because that's my rules, and I'm not breaking my rules. So I made $60. It's all right. It's okay. I'm trying to do my very best to sort of desensitize myself to those amounts and just come in completely 100% process oriented, perfect the process, and not really worry about my process, my profits, or the outcome at all. I don't want to be outcome focused. My main focus in this month and my main focus, really moving forward, is being 100% process oriented. I think less mistakes happen that way, less, falling off the rails. So there is my quick one. Is definitely a lot different than the first one that I had recorded, or the first 5 rather, but hopefully this is helpful. If you guys have any questions, of course, post in study group and I will be there to answer them.